We're live now. It's probably gonna hear us talking over it. Okay. It's not talking desktop audio and stuff like that. It should be me. You should be able to hear me right now. Okay. Huh. We're just gonna go live. We're going live. Here we are. Hello, welcome to another edition of the Casual Hour, a podcast ostensibly about video games, but mostly about the ongoing technical difficulties of a Twitch channel. I'm your host, Bobby Pease. Joining me as always, the gamer on the go, Chase Kinnicky, and the gamer dad, Johnny Amazich. How are you all doing?
Just the only one. The only dad who games.
The only one.
That's
the
right.
Definitive dad gamer.
That's, that is a title that I wear with a great amount of reverence, and it's a heavy head that wears the crown, they say.
So this is interesting. Not to eat too much on how the sausage is made, but for some reason I don't have the chat window. It doesn't look like on my end that there's a whole lot going on with us being live on Twitch. So I don't have chat currently. I don't have any of that stuff in Streamlabs. It's just kind of busted. So
Hey, that's the motto around here.
yeah. So I mean, if there's people watching, there's no tweet that was sent out, so how will people even know? But here we're live apparently, and we got video games to talk about. So
this says we're playing Valheim. That is incorrect. Please change that. I don't want people thinking I play Valheim.
We all know, Chase, it's not anime enough for you. You've made your point crystal clear. We will get that fixed as soon as possible. Let me see what I can do.
Please
here.
do.
Let's see. We're going to edit that. And we'll call this one the Casual Hour Live. I mean, you can't play Valheim because you never played Valheim. You don't have a way to play Valheim, so you'd have nothing to worry about.
True.
That's true.
True statements.
Podcast. I've never seen somebody hate something as much as you do that you haven't really experienced.
I think that's the reason. I haven't experienced, so I don't want to be bothered by it. And I feel like it's all anybody's talking about right now.
Everywhere.
Hey, welcome to anybody in quarantine when baseball was a thing. I hope you know how it feels. Hope you know how it feels.
You could access it though. You could be a baseball fan. You chose not to. I can't be a Valheim fan.
Even better, because I knew what I was getting out of. I dodged a baseball-sized bullet.
I've watched the streams. I've watched you stream it multiple times now. It's
that's your problem. That's why you don't like it. It's not Fortnite.
It's just
how would you even say that's Fortnite? Oh, Fortnite was the first game that you built something.
No, Minecraft, and it's also a Minecraft. I don't get the appeal. We've been over this. I've asked multiple people. You've
never played Minecraft
I do
either.
Not see it. I know.
Yeah.
Just. I don't see it.
Is tonight's episode title going to be reflecting on Chase's poor choices?
It should be.
I feel pretty great about my choices.
No, Chase doesn't like something.
Hang on, I'm trying to send this out to get.
That's
I'm currently trying to get more Valheim fans in here to have some counterweights here for Chase. There's dozens of us if you haven't been paying attention. Dozens of us.
4 million strong.
4 million dozen.
Friend of the show, Pierce Corshane is on my side. It's 2 against the world.
Oh, has Pierce played it? Or is he like you?
Yes, he has played it.
Well, then he's allowed to not like it.
It's true.
Fair enough.
See how that works? But we're not only going to talk about Valheim tonight. We're going to be talking about a few other things.
Thank God.
But we're going to talk a lot about it. I am now going to give it the baseball treatment, which is a weekly update for you. And all I can say is, hey, Jessica Telephone, get ready to eat shit because it's happening. and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I will revel in this. I will dance upon the ashes of it. But tonight we do have quite a bit to get through. We've got a lot of news. A lot of news has been happening with video games lately. But more importantly, there is maybe something I think that we can all agree on tonight. And we're going to get into some of those things that we've been playing. So Chase, before you pop a blood vessel here, let's talk about something that's not Valheim. What do you got for us?
Okay. Blazeball comes back March 1st, baby.
There it is. There it is. And I'm going
to I will counter program your shit all day.
It's great because I have somewhere on here a clip. We do have a clip on our channel where Chase denounces baseball, and we'll pull that back up here as well.
I've never denounced baseball. I love baseball, but I did say that I probably wouldn't be getting. I probably wouldn't be getting back into baseball, which is true. I'm still not that excited about it. But now that you had to bring up this Valheim garbage, then you know. Anyway, I have been playing a couple of other things that I'm actually way more excited about. I'll get through the stuff you know already. I've been playing more Animal Crossing because I play that every day. It's good. Am I on my last month? Yeah. It came out the 23rd of March, so I am on my final month of Animal Crossing.
Your sentence is almost completed. Congratulations.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm excited or sad. I just welcomed Fang to my island today. He's a white wolf. He's nice. He sits right next to Wolfgang.
Okay.
And he sits right next to Wolfgang, who's a like navy blue wolf. So they've got whole wolf thing going on.
Oh, so
a wolf pack.
Wolves together.
No, they're actually. So it goes. There's a cat. That's Anka. That's my Egyptian cat. And then there's two wolves. And then there's a bear. And then there's my rabbit wife is in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rabbit wife.
Yeah, Carmen. She's the waifu of Animal Crossing.
Huh.
Anyway, I've also been playing Destiny 2 because, of course, I have. We don't really need to talk about Destiny 2. And then the other two games, I think you guys might have some more interest. One because I think you both have played both of these, at least a little bit. So we'll get into it. First one. We talked about this last week for the Nintendo Direct. Project Triangle Strategy that had a demo that came out courtesy of Square Enix. This game isn't coming out until 2022, but they did put out a demo last Wednesday when they did the Direct. And I hadn't played it before we recorded, but I've played it now, and I'll say it could be good. It could. It has potential. I think there's some stuff there that is really cool, and I think there's some stuff that is definitely holding it back from being great. And hopefully, one of the reasons they put out a demo so early is that they can get a lot of feedback from people and make it the game I think it can be, because it does have a lot of really cool things going for it.
Here's some feedback. Don't make it so effing difficult when you're playing the game, and it makes you feel like you're just bad and not a smart person.
So that's something they did with Bravely Default as well. The first time they put out a demo for that, they didn't tell anyone that, hey, by the way, we artificially jacked up the difficulty just so you have to play with more of the systems. And then people got pissed about it because it's like, why is this game so fucking hard?
Yeah.
And then they said, yeah, that's our bad. You know, that we were trying something. We just want you guys to actually play the game and not just breeze through it. Like, okay, I can kind of understand where you're coming from.
I can learn the systems. You know, it's easy to do when not all of my characters are dying and one hits.
You could also
it does maybe feel like
not make it such the fucking prologue into showing people how the game mechanics are going to work. Also, with some boring ass story shit happening before the demo, like maybe lead with some action. Oh, that was some melodramatic fucking Young and the Restless bullshit. It was bad.
Welcome to turn-based strategy games. That's what this is. Now, I will say, I think there's maybe a little too much of it.
Yes.
Especially the amount that they do that you have to keep buttoning into.
Yes.
Like they'll have like all these different exclamation points on the field, and it wants you to go through all these and just see these tiny little sketches, these little story beats, and all these parts. Just show them back to back, and
I'm
like
not interested
speed it
in that
up.
right now.
It's so slow.
It's the middle of the story. I have no idea what's going on. I'm not invested in these characters yet. So
Yeah, I think
how am I supposed to care about what's happening?
Sure,
Just give me to the good stuff.
give me the goods.
I think I was actually pretty impressed with a lot of the stuff here. I think, yes, I would have been a little bit more invested if I knew these characters beforehand, but that's what this demo's about. I bet some of the really early stages are pretty mechanically boring compared to this point in the story where you have some of these mages that can do these different attacks. And I think for the most part, there's some good bones here. Basically, this is Final Fantasy Tactics. It has a lot of those tricks going. It's on that kind of grid-based system. There's elevation bonuses like there was in Final Fantasy Tactics. Unfortunately, one of the things I was optimistic about last week, but now having played it, see that it's in there. It has that Final Fantasy Tactics positioning. You have to actually show the direction of where your character's facing, and if somebody attacks them from behind, then it's an automatic critical hit, and it just really sucks.
It wasn't great.
But
I mean, okay, I don't want to sound like I'm just being completely negative, because I am genuinely excited for a Final Fantasy Tactics style new RPG to play.
Totally.
And
I think there are mechanics here that are really cool. I think the idea of having those follow-up attacks by surrounding the enemy is awesome. Bobby, I think you mentioned Fate Tactics has something similar. If you have somebody on the other side of an enemy when you attack them, they also get like this attack of opportunity. That's really fun to play around with in the story, especially with some of the characters. There is an archer, so if you can shoot somebody from relative far away, we'll talk about distances for attacks in a bit. But if you hit somebody from relative far away, if you have somebody just on the other side of them, then they also get that attack. And that's pretty great.
And that is really cool.
You have... Yeah, absolutely. It's a really tactical, strategic, interesting thing to do. There's also a thief character that can go into stealth, and if she can get behind somebody, she's awesome. She can make those attacks, and then if she's stealth and behind somebody, she can even make 2 attacks, and it really can mess some people up. And I think she's a really cool character as well. But the mages, I think, are maybe the most interesting part of what I've seen so far from this game. The fire mage that you get, she can buff your characters with, I think she gives them a protection, like a fire protection thing that also lets them counterattack. But then she's got another move that's setting an area on fire, setting enemy on fire, and you can do different things with that. You can set area pieces on fire, so if somebody walks through it, then they get damaged. And then there's an ice mage as well, and he was the one I was finding the most utility with, because he has an ability where he can just put up this ice wall that just puts 3 big blocks of ice on these 3. No, it's not Ice Town, and he is no ice clown.
Damn it.
But what you can do is really bottleneck the field, so you can have him throw up his ice wall in the middle of basically just a field, and now the enemy has to walk around that part. Or if you can even block off a whole area, you can make it safe for your fire mage or your archer or some of your other characters with distance moves to be able to attack safely, because there's that wall of ice now between you and the enemy. And I think a lot of that stuff is really, really cool. It does have some problems. We mentioned the story stuff.
It's early.
I think... Yeah, and I think the story is relatively boring as well. It's not an amazing
Iron
story.
And Salt Wars.
I do think
it's not the most interesting thing, but I think it's interesting from execution. Like the way that the political intrigue of it, where you have to talk to your house members and try to get them to vote with you in this democratic way using the scales of conviction. I think that stuff is really interesting. Not knowing how those people are going to vote, even when you are trying to persuade them, and they just get put into an undecided pool, I think is really fascinating. And the way that changes the story pretty dramatically, at least in the little bit that we've seen, it seems like there's this real big choice that they give you of whether you want to protect this prince or feed him to metaphorical wolves. You're sending them out to an opposing army.
Yeah,
and you actually get a completely different story beat there. So if you choose to protect him, then you have to play defense against this opposing army. If you give up the prince, you actually kind of become like a vassal area of this opposing army, and then they tell you to go fuck up somebody else, or else like they keep having demands of you. So you actually play a completely different stage if you choose to give up the prince versus protecting him. And I wonder how much the story will branch based on those things. Like we had a game like Fire Emblem Three Houses. There is one big question there of what you want to do, and if you go down one route, you get one other question of what you want to do. Like those are the only real branches, and everything else just kind of goes the way it goes. And this game seems like it has the potential to say it can go many different ways, and you can have different characters on your team because of the choices that you've made. And that stuff all sounds really, really fascinating.
I still think that Fate Tactics is a better game. And I know that the story...
I haven't gotten to play Fate Tactics. I know you love that game. And I would love to play it as well. And it's coming to Switch eventually. But
yeah,
for now, I think this has some really cool things going for it. And I want to see what else they can do with it.
Yeah, they've got, in my opinion, they've got a pretty big mountain to climb based off of Project Octopath, which is a separate fucking game, but it's that game. It's those assets. It's all that shit brought over. I think that it's not nearly as strong a demo. So maybe it's the opposite problem that game will have. Hopefully it's a better release than what Octopath was. But I hope.
I think that's selling it a little short, but I can understand where you're coming from on that. I will say the weapon ranges are pretty trash. Yep. They try to tell you here's some strategic things that you can do. If you have an archer who is on higher ground, they have a larger or a longer attack range. It's like, okay, great. So I put my archer on higher ground. I was trying to shoot at an archer that was on lower ground from me. Obviously, I have the advantage, right? Apparently not. I had a shorter range from where I was than they had below me. They could hit me and I couldn't hit them, and that just seemed wrong. Also, the mages don't have any real range to them at all either, and that felt pretty bad. I think there needs to be a lot more range on some of these attacks, and maybe you get abilities further in the game that easily go further distances, and maybe that balances out. But right now, it just didn't feel very good, especially as Johnny mentioned, because they made this demo really hard. This time, they did come out and say, we are intentionally making this demo hard because we want you to deal with these systems, which I still think is a bad idea.
Yeah.
But it didn't make for very fun combat, especially when the combat felt so slow, too. There's a lot of things that feel like they just need to be sped up, and it's close to being the game I want it to be, but it's just not quite there.
That's fair.
They've got a whole year, if not more.
They have a whole year to change
to get it where it
I haven't gotten the survey yet that they said they're going to put out to get some things. I have taken copious notes, and so I'll
this
definitely.
Game is trash.
It's not trash. It's got some cool things. I want to like it a lot. And and I think with a few tweaks, it could be really good.
I think I probably sounded a bit harsh there, but it was frustrating last night to be playing it. And I'm not proclaiming to be some strategy RPG guru or anything, but I know my way around a strategy game, and it felt like no matter what I was doing, I was getting my ass kicked in, and it took the fun out of it. To feel like no matter what I did, how I positioned my characters, I was gonna get my butt destroyed. So I'll probably run through it again, just like to see what you're describing, the other paths, because I chose to defend the prince that time. So seeing
same here.
The other way it could play out sounds interesting. But yeah, I think this has potential for sure.
I know that they take their feedback seriously, so hopefully there's other folks out there sharing some things that'll make it better, from like the weapon range to maybe getting the story a bit more fleshed out
Yeah.
at this demo, or if they do another demo, maybe the focus they do there with the
I
story
think they did
aspects.
multiple ones for Octopath.
They did.
Also, all right, let's take a vote.
Yeah.
Because Octopath Traveler was the working title and ended up being the actual title. Who thinks that Project Triangle Strategy ends up being the actual title of this game?
I really don't think so.
I think they'll absolutely change it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you think there's but is there a chance it stays Project?
And sure, there's a chance, but I think it'll have something to do more with like the scales of Conviction thing. I could see Conviction being part of the title or scales.
The Salt Iron
and
Saga.
When you something the game, they do something weird with the title, and it.
No, don't even joke. Don't even joke. Do not pull a Bravely Default, please.
So Chase, outside of that, like, what else have you been up to?
Yeah, well, I know we're all going to jump in on this one too because we all played it. I have a feeling other people might be further than I am. I'm not sure.
I'm about a little more than 2 hours in.
Johnny's probably the focus.
I got through. Maybe not. I got through the garbage area. I got back to the surface. Does that mean anything to you?
Not to me. I'm at the point where we just called her Sophie for the first time.
Okay.
I just got past that point.
Okay, so I am about the furthest. But it sounds like we're all relatively near where we are. We're talking about Persona 5 Strikers here, which or Persona 5 Scramble, if you're one of our Japanese listeners.
I like that title better.
It's called there. Yeah, it's probably better.
It doesn't sound like a soccer game.
But
yeah. Hey man, I would take a Persona soccer game in a freaking heartbeat. That sounds awesome.
Well, this is a Persona Dynasty Warriors game. Except that I don't think it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say
we were sold a bill of goods, and I think maybe for the better. It's not really a Dynasty Warriors game, at least not what I've played so far.
It is and it isn't in a lot of ways. I mean, okay, I'm gonna defer to you on this because you've played way more of those games than I have, but I mean, it has the mash X one more time. Oh, hey, you learned a new move. Now, if you mash X one more time, you'll do a different combo. But it also has the Persona stuff mixed in there, and I don't know. It's really working for me so far. How are you guys feeling?
I can't handle this being a Warriors game. It's almost March, so it's been like 5 months probably since I played quote unquote my first Warriors game, and I wasn't supposed to like that one, and I figured that had Zelda, and it was well enough, and that was good for me. I certainly did not expect to like another one this close or ever. And it's just very good. And I guess I'm a Warriors fan. And I don't like that. And I don't want to be that. And I'm ashamed of it. And I don't want to be a part of these conversations. But I have to be now.
Yeah, it's weird. Because it's not like... I mean, Age of Calamity was a Warriors game, for sure. It played like one.
Yeah.
It had the maps like one, and I think the real difference was just the gameplay innovations they had in there that made it feel a lot like Breath of the Wild. It took a lot of Breath of the Wild influence and put that into a Dynasty Warriors or Muso game, and it worked out. And you liked it. We all liked it. But at its heart, it still really did feel like a Dynasty Warriors game. It had those same basic mechanics. And I think other times that Koei's made these kinds of crossovers, I think about Fire Emblem Warriors. I think about way back in the day when they did the Gundam ones, which I haven't played, but I hear they're bad. And it was before I liked Gundam, so I didn't even know that I should like them. Like those games were just Dynasty Warriors games with some new skins. For the Fire Emblem one, they tried to do some kind of cutesy support system stuff. But like it was just Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
This is not that. It is a very linear, a very story based game. Unlike Zelda, unlike Age of Calamity, and unlike some of these other ones, you're not picking different places to go. It is putting you down a path. Yeah. And when you do get to the combat sections, those combat sections are Dynasty Warrior style combat, but they're all small arenas, and then you run through a dungeon similar to you would in Persona until you get to the next fight. And that fight is not an RPG battle; it is a Dynasty Warriors battle.
I straight up thought I was playing a fucking Persona game.
Like, I totally believe it, because it looks like one. It's got all the same style that you'd expect. It has all-out attacks. It has Persona Fusion. I don't know if it has fusions yet, but it does have personas that you can switch on the fly as you're playing.
The Velvet Room.
It does have a Velvet Room. It just feels like Persona. You're talking with friends, and they're have the dialogue coming up, and it just feels like coming home.
It really did.
Can I just say how great it was to hear those characters talking again, and the first time you hear Ryuji go, "For real?" and this little pain in my heart, like a good pain, like, oh, man, Persona 5 was good. And
they got both of those full casts back from what I can tell, both the English and the Japanese cast. So if you prefer playing it one or the other,
and I've talked about this on this podcast for many months now, like toying with the idea of getting Persona 5 Royal or visiting Persona 5 in some capacity. And I feel like this is maybe just what I need, because it's not gonna take as much time to get through as a regular Persona game, but it's still giving me a chance to hang out with these characters that I love so much again, and see a new story. Like I know Royal has some different stuff, but yeah.
You know me, I accidentally bought Royal, or I meant to buy Royal and I didn't remember that I did it. But yeah, I'm also feeling some of that. This actually reminds me a little bit of Persona 4 Dancing All Night, because that game also was like, here is the persona that the characters that but it's in a different style, and it's in a different genre of kind of game. The difference here is I feel like in Persona 4 Dancing All Night, they did a really great job of distancing themselves or learning from, like, the characters remembered the development they had through the course of a game, which is different in some of the other games. I think I've talked about this on the show before, but like Persona 4 Q or Persona Q Shadow of the Labyrinth, those characters just went back.
Right.
Of who that character
it's like Chie likes meat again. Kanji doesn't know his sexuality. They just kind of went back to being what they were, which is fine. But I think what I liked in Dancing All Night is that they really felt like they continued to develop. And this game kind of sits somewhere in between, because there hasn't been a ton of time for these characters to have really developed since their appearance in Persona 5.
Well, yeah, Makoto completely forgot that she was my girl.
Yeah. Well, hey, she's in college now. College girls, not a fan. They're going to dump you like a hot rock. There's
a fan.
Much hotter guys out there.
Bobby's heartbroken.
They seem to all remember that nobody dated me in Persona 5, which is disappointing, but it's there.
Because you were the doctor, right?
I wasn't anybody. I tried. I wanted Makoto, and then it was too late, and then I was going for Futaba, and that didn't work out, and I was alone. It was me and Ryuji on Valentine's Day.
Now you have a perfect opportunity to play Royal. That's your
absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure that'll work out. We'll see. Honestly, playing this does make me want to go back to Royal, though, because I remembered how much I like these characters. And, I know I've had my running thing about the first 20 hours of Persona 5, but enjoying being in this world again and seeing those characters and having them talk in the way that they talked in Persona 5 is giving me that nostalgia where I was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I should go back and see who this Kasumi girl is in Royal and play this other stuff. In the meantime, this doesn't have any of the Royal stuff in it because it came out before Royal did in Japan. Yeah. But it does have a new character, Sophie, who we've mentioned. She seems cool. She seems a lot like Kasumi in that she's got bright red hair And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. She's different. She's
you know it's not different.
What's that?
How fucking bad Yusuke is.
I love how much they dunk on him. They dunk on him constantly. Yeah. It's like one of the developers was like, "Hey, remember how much Chase hated this dick?
He sucks.
We got him. We got you, fam. He's fine. He'll be fine."
Yusuke sucks.
They fucking love roasting Yusuke, and I do too. It's so good.
So
it.
I think that like one of the interesting things for me is like, look, I don't want to say that this is more special to me or anything like that, but you all are definitely fans of most Persona games that you've played. Persona 4 continues to be the game that you all go back to. Like that, I think, Johnny, that was your first Persona game, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Chase, maybe you as well?
I played 3 Portable first and didn't like it as much. Okay. 4 was the one that really got me, or 4 Golden was the one that really got me.
Got it. Okay. So let me just say this, and like I don't want to like overstep anything here, but like Persona 5 was my first one. And for me, like it holds a really special place because of that. And this game is a reminder, and you've already mentioned it, like, so I'm not saying it's unique to me by any stretch, but like I have tried to play 4 in between Persona 5 and Persona 5 Strikers, and it didn't stick because of its age. I'm not saying the story's not there, but the mechanics did not allow it to stick.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I grappled with some of that stuff myself playing through it on a PS2, in 2016, 17. So I completely get it.
And I played it on a Vita, so it was already relatively old at that point when Golden came out. The difference is that I was coming off of 3 Portable, which I didn't find mechanically fun at all. So this one felt like a big step up from that. But I can totally understand how going from the pretty darn smooth mechanics of 5 compared to 4 at least, and then going back to 4, and it can just feel kind of stilted. I totally get that.
Yeah, I think
even though it's better.
It just reminds me that, like, and I think if I look back on it, I think Persona 5 was maybe like 6, 7, maybe 5 on my top 10 that year when it came out, and it might not have been the best place for it because this is making me, and maybe it's just nostalgia, like really like gripping me hard here, but it's making me realize how much I enjoyed Persona 5 and how much I enjoyed these characters, the music especially. And what's crazy is like going back to the city centers and things like that. Like I already fucking know where I'm going, and it's like, and like it's so deeply ingrained in my head on like where certain shops and things are that I was like, holy shit! Like I know exactly where to go. I know exactly where this would go. Oh, I shouldn't go there quite yet. Like when I was going back to the coffee shop and everything, I'm like, oh yeah, but I can go over here and do this. Oh, not yet. And to Johnny's point, like hearing those characters talk again, Persona 5 is really fucking good. And if this is just more of that, it's a really fucking good game. And it's something that, like, if you would have said, hey, we're going to make a Dynasty Warriors Persona game, like, prior to even playing Zelda, I don't know if I would have had quite the appeal to go to it based off of, like, I don't know if I want Persona that way based off of, like, what I really enjoyed about the management stuff and the relationships of it. But I think that, like, going into something like Zelda, which absolutely, as you all know, is, like, my shit, it let me, like, look past, like, oh, well, it's not going to be only a Warriors game. Like, you're going to get to see those things about Zelda that you like a whole lot. And that's what's happening here. And, like, we told a friend of the show, Jason, offline, like, hey, man, like, if this is straight up fucking Persona 5, which you really like Persona 5, like, that's what this is. You should play it. And I'll tell anybody who likes Persona, play this fucking game. It's great.
Yep.
And I don't want to downplay the Warrior stuff that much because I think the stuff that they've done in there is actually pretty fun. It is not mechanically as interesting as what Age of Calamity does, because I think that just pulls from so many more ideas and so many more innovations that you got from Breath of the Wild. Right. But it's fun. This combat is totally fun. It's really flashy. You see a lot of the effects that you remember from the RPG stuff. You see the hearts and the numbers coming off. When you do daze somebody, you see those prompts for all out attacks, and then you can go and pull them off. Your persona comes out and does really flashy attacks, and you actually get the like the big red backgrounds and the blood stuff where like Joker adjusts his glove as everything goes fucking wild behind him. all that stuff is in there, and they've done some cool things with it, and they've added some stealth mechanics as well of jumping up to lampposts and then using those for combat, or like on a catwalk, and then you can knock that thing off and it falls down on a bunch of enemies to get a big surprise attack. They are doing stuff in there, and there's also persona abilities in the, like, your personas can use Agi or Bufu. Like, they can use those magical attacks that do have weaknesses and strengths against different types of enemies that you fight. And doing the weaknesses will actually give you an advantage in battle. They've taken some of those persona elements, and even though they aren't quite as interesting as the Breath of the Wild mechanics, they're still really good, and I think the combat is actually pretty darn fun. So far, I've only played with Joker. I imagine you unlock the rest of the cast eventually to play with. And it does look like you have at least 3 people in your party at any one time, and I've even gotten up to 4, although I don't know if the 4 is a permanent thing or what happens. So I wonder if they're actually going to do that similar kind of Age of Calamity stuff, or even what some of the previous Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors games have done, where you actually switch between 3 characters in a single map. So I'll be interested to see what mechanically they do as the game progresses. But right now, there's a new palace, and you're going to somebody else's new palace now, and you're doing an investigation, and there are cops around you, and it's fucking Persona, and it's really
cool.
Good.
It's really cool. I think that
so good. It's
a strong game, and I'll tell you what, like, it's nice to have this come, and even though it's been out for a while, it's nice to have the option to play it other places here in the localization for the States in a year where it's seemingly like a lot of things that you're looking forward to are no longer. And what I mean by that is just like there's been a lot more delays, and this is not a game that was on my radar, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, this is not a game that I was expecting to play this year. Certainly not a game I was expecting to enjoy like I am. And it makes the sting a bit less on some of these other things to know that you're getting something seemingly as special as this, which is great. And I think it's an awesome Persona game to have on the Switch. I'm not playing it there, but like, I know that that's where you are playing it, Chase. And I think that's pretty cool. I am playing this on PC, and it looks great. It's awesome to have on there.
Is 5 on PC?
No.
Persona 5?
No.
Okay.
If Royal came to PC, I'd probably pick it up there.
Yeah.
I know Atlas, it seems like Atlas wants to do all this stuff, but they need to put Persona 4 Golden out on the Switch. They need to put Persona 5 Royal on Switch, and they need to put Persona 5 Royal on Steam as well.
I don't understand
why
they
had everything in place to do these things.
Right. Why would Persona 4 Golden not come to the Switch at the time that it came to Steam? Like, it makes no sense.
I don't know, man. Why would Joker be put into Smash, and then you get Persona 5 Strikers, and no proper Persona game is actually on the Switch? That's fucking nuts to me.
Well, look, as I was saying, maybe, just fucking maybe, and like, this is gonna help. Like, we'll talk about stuff in the news, and I don't want to like go down this rabbit hole right now, but I'm just gonna say that, and maybe I mentioned it I think I mentioned this on a stream the other night. There has to be, because of the delays with all the fucking semiconductor shit right now for these consoles, the wait list to get them, the development woes because of COVID still, like, bring some of these other games to consoles that we want to see them on. And like, it makes more sense to do so. Like, in a year where there's significant pushbacks, I think and I'm not a developer, but maybe bringing Persona 4 or Persona 5 to a platform like Switch is a lot easier than the development cycles for other things that haven't quite came out yet. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, something brand new. But
right.
Again, we're not developers, so who can really say?
Yep. So I think that we are going to give this one that big shiny stamp seal of approval that the Casual Hour endorses and says play Persona 5 Strikers.
It is pretty early. Like we said, like, none of us are really that far past 2 hours. It might run out of steam, but at this point, I'm having a ton of fun with the game, and I can't wait to play more.
Yep,
that's awesome. Same here. Is there anything else that you have? Because I can segue off that.
Do you want me to talk about Fire Emblem?
Which one?
Shadows of Valentia.
Sure.
No, go ahead, Bobby. You don't want to hear me talk about the best Fire Emblem game.
And I'm not going to bore you with Valheim talk. I'll just say that I have been playing a lot of that still, and probably had that not been out, I'd be playing only Persona 5. But I've done a lot more exploration, and the only thing I'm going to share tonight, and this was on the stream the other evening, I came across a barracks, like an abandoned barracks or whatever, and it was fucking crazy. I got this excitement. And I'm only going off of what the game's taught me so far, is that all these houses are abandoned. And the worst thing that you could come across is a beehive. So I'm trying to find a location because we've got we have a server going now, which is exciting. We've got multiple people on the server. And I was trying to find a location that I thought would be more conducive for the next fight in the game that could house more people. So I take off running. Boom, I'm going. I get in there. I go around the corner to go into this. It's full of fucking draugrs, and they are armed to the teeth. Fucking swords, bows, shields, and there's meat piles that are just producing more and more and more of them. And I fucking just get my ass kicked in so hard by these guys. And it was just this sheer fucking flip you on your ear moment that I thought was so stupid. And I had this high of like finding something that I thought would be perfect for what we were doing. I'm like, this is it. I found it. I got the perfect location. I can restore these buildings. And after a few attempts, I got it set up. And I've now found my second one in a whole new biome and using portals. What a weird fucking wild game that is. Chase, I gave you a lot of shit at the top of the show. I 100% know that this is a really weird game on multiple levels. I still don't understand, like, I do understand very closely, like, why it's successful, but I don't understand why it's so successful. Like, for five...
And I give you a lot of shit right back. Like, I do want to say, despite me still not understanding why this game is popular, I am glad that you're enjoying it. I'm glad that you and Johnny have been able to play it together, and that you found some other people, and that it's blowing up this way. I mean, it is... I will say maybe part of it is that I would rather you play Destiny with me than play Valheim.
Well, I'm not playing
especially when I see the rest of especially when I see the rest of my clanmates on our Discord saying, "Oh, we're playing Valheim too." I was like, "Guys, come the fuck on!" Is anybody not playing Valheim? I was going to
ask you, like, did the clan is it no longer a Destiny clan? Is it a Valheim server?
Sounds that way.
Well, they've all gone over to PC, so they're not playing with me on PS5 at all to begin with, and now it seems like they're playing a lot of Valheim, which is fine. I think once Bungie does the crossplay and I can kind of get back in with those guys, maybe we'll do more stuff. But
so yeah, playing Valheim, I'm playing. I already shared my love for Persona 5 Strikers, but over the last week or so, like Chase, you and I kicked off a stream one night with Super Mario 3D Land or 3D World. And what you brought up on stream is, and I'm quoting you here, I would rather play this by myself. No offense to you, but the way the game's designed, I'd rather play this solo. And
yeah,
I didn't take any offense to it, quite frankly, because I understand.
It's not true. He sent me the longest text message you've ever seen afterward.
I'm sure.
I probably shouldn't be bringing it up here where it's being recorded, but I just wanted to put that out there.
So Sarah and I have been trying to find things to do together, like with board games during like quarantine. We're not really going out and doing stuff still. Mm-hmm. Neither one of us have been vaccinated. We're just not pushing the limits at this point. So we're still trying to find indoor activities to do here at the house. And I was like, hey, we played this on Wii U. Let's go back to it. Our frustration got pretty high because that game is just chaos with two people. And she asked me, she goes, is there any other fun games that we could both play on the Switch? And Johnny, I remember you sharing some stories a while back. And I remember listening to the Bombcast this year talk about their Game of the Year stuff. And a game called Good Job got brought up again. And so I decided I'm going to fork over the money and check this out. And holy shit, that game is fucking awesome. That game is
was
so
your friend
good.
Johnny right?
No, but that game's really good.
Oh, wait, no, Johnny, you're not right. I asked multiple times if I should pick this game up, and you're like, no, it eventually like runs out of room. Like it doesn't. It gets a little boring. It gets a little hard.
Said, like, if you're playing by yourself, I don't know how much fun it would be. And we did hit a wall, like with one of the later levels. They got very frustrating.
Right, you definitely mentioned a wall.
I'm going to say this, Johnny, and don't take any offense to it, but maybe it wasn't the game as much as it was who you chose to play the game with.
Oh, that is absolutely a factor.
Because your son, we've talked about this before on the show, can be a bit of an asshole. He is a bit of a griefer whenever you're playing with him.
He's an agent of chaos.
Correct.
And so if you had someone that you're playing cooperatively with, as
because I don't think your son understands co-op.
No.
He's like, hey, play Minecraft with me. Sure, I show up. Oh, here's my gold and silver fucking potion sword. You're dead now. And then I go to do the same thing to him, and he starts threatening to kick me. I'm going to kick you from the game if you come at me again, Bobby. Well, you just killed me.
Your son made no lifelong commitment to you. Bobby's wife, though, like they have a bond. There are rings involved.
I'm telling you right now, Good Job is a game to play with friends. It is fucking awesome.
Yes. It's a fantastic game to play with friends.
So we're having a blast with that game. It's the dumbest fun. I love the style of it. It is everything that I would want from, because I like the concept of Overcooked a whole lot. I love the concept, and I like Snipper Clips. I think Snipper Clips is a great game, but it's still or Snippy Clips as we call it around here. I think Snippy Clips can be a bit of that. Well, no. You got to like cut here, and like that can still make you like tense up a little bit, like Philip Seymour Hoffman in The Big Lebowski. It's like, oh, don't touch that.
We had to put the kibosh on Overcooked in my house because it was just stressing Misty and I out too much. Because again, Jude, Agent of Chaos, is like, hey, look, I found a fire extinguisher. What happens if I spray this? And like, dude, we got cheeseburgers to make.
Yeah.
Can we please focus on making the cheeseburgers? And
so I think that Good Job is, in my opinion, one of the better versions of those types of games. I'm sure that it gets a little bit crazy and zany down the line, but it's still not punishing you for being like, you're definitely going to get a lower score. But like, if I decide that like, maybe I want to slingshot this guy through a wall because it makes my wife laugh like a maniac, I'm going to do that.
Maybe this couch needs to be all the way on the other side of this room.
But like, I don't want to spoil things to the game because I think the discovery is like pretty incredible. But there was a moment where we were in a lecture hall, and I'm going to spoil this aspect because this was fucking cool how it played out. There was a pathway that we had to walk through to get a projector, and there was a group of people hanging out in front of it, and I did not know how to get them out of there. And my wife's deduction skills are through the roof, and she's like, she goes over to the section where like the assembly was taking place, and there's like pew style rows of like seats.
Yep, I remember that level.
She just picks up the corner of one, and she's trying to drag this row of chairs over towards them. And I go and I grab the other corner of it, and we just take off running towards these idiots blocking the door, and they all just fall into the chairs on this thing. And now we're carrying them around like fucking dummies. And we drop that, and we can get up there. And it was just so fucking like in the moment, like completely natural reaction on her part, because I'm trying to use video game logic, like, oh, I'll throw a plant at them and that'll get them. She's like, no, let's just like move this chair over there, which my dumb lizard brain didn't think of it that way. So it was really fun to play that with her. I'm looking forward to going through and doing more of it. I don't think that has,
Have you played a level with a forklift yet?
No.
Okay. I want to hear about that when you find the forklift.
But we are team fanny pack and Viking helmet over at the Peace House.
Okay. Oh, the
more Valheim.
The accessories that you find distributed throughout the levels are so good.
Does that game have online co-op, or is it only couch co-op?
No, it's only local.
Damn it.
Bobby, would you agree with Johnny that it's maybe not fun or not as interesting playing it solo? Like, is it worth me getting if I'm really only going to be able to play it by myself?
Man, that's a tough one. I would say that this is a game best experienced with somebody else.
Oh yeah, I can believe that.
There's still stuff of value that you can experience on your own, but
Johnny, can you check? Is that game on Steam?
It's a Switch exclusive.
No, it's published by Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, because I know, and Chase, I'm just saying this right now for like streams. There's a service you can get, and I don't know if it would work with you not having a PC. I don't think it will. It might work for the Mac aspect of it because you're playing on my computer. There's an app you can download that allows you to do co-op, like a couch co-op game online, where I'm basically hosting all the shit on my end, and you could just like hop on and play with me. And if there was a way for us to do that, like absolutely, I'd say pick it up, let's do it. But yeah, man, I would say no. I would say that that's a game that you could probably like have fun with, but you're going to be missing out on something pretty special with it if you don't do those things.
Okay, makes sense.
But yeah,
have you ever considered playing? Have you considered playing Portal 2 with your wife?
You know, I haven't. That is something that I don't think that's on the Switch, right?
No.
But
you can get
but that is still the
Steam.
most fun I have had in co-op. Yeah. And with you mentioning that your wife is like really likes to puzzle out stuff and has a different way of thinking, a different perspective on stuff, that is a fantastic game for that kind of logical talk it out with your partner, figure out what you're going to do, and just experiment. It's really, really fun for that.
I remember you asked me, and I apologize because I dropped the ball here, but you asked me a long time ago to like play that game again with you, and you said you've been thinking about it.
Yeah.
I think that's on PlayStation. We could easily make that like a stream series with you and I playing through that. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm totally game for that.
The last thing I'm going to say before I pass it over to Johnny, to continue this trend with Sarah, my wife Sarah, she's been like Chase. Like I don't think she's missed a day, maybe a day or two of Animal Crossing since it came out. Like I got her a Switch Lite almost a year ago to the date, knowing that this game was coming out, knowing that she would want to play it. She fell in love with it, actively plays it. I had her download last night, and we haven't started it yet. But and I haven't told you this, Johnny. She got Stardew Valley, and we're gonna co-farm. So I got her to get Stardew Valley, and we're gonna set that up, and we're gonna have our own little farm together.
That's awesome. The game is so special.
I have Stardew Valley. Nobody invited me to co-farm with them. That's fine.
You have it on the Switch, right?
Cool.
I've asked you to play that game a lot, actually.
Not with you. You've just asked me to play that game.
And I said that I would play
it. I should.
Which I don't know. I think you can have more than one person, though. We could all be hanging out on the farm together. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe. All right.
That could be fun.
On the farm.
Yeah, let's look into that. So that's kind of what's up for me. I'll be playing some Stardew Valley. The 1.5 patch that hit PC a while back just came to console. And there's a bunch of stuff they added into it. So we're going to check that game out together. We're going to play some more Good Job together. And tomorrow, I'm really excited because the Outriders demo unlocks in the early morning. So I'm going to get to check that out. And I'll have more to come.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm anxious to check that out as well.
Yep.
And Bobby, you're going to stream that on Friday, you said?
Yeah, I'm streaming that on Friday. I might even do... I've had a friend of the show, Hybrid Glass, Eric Glass, asked me to maybe stream tomorrow because he's got to work, but he wanted to check out a little bit of it. So I might stream like an afternoon stream tomorrow with that as well. But if either one of you want to join up and hang out while I'm playing that to see it on Friday night, I'll open up Discord and we can chat and hang out, and I'll have that game going.
I'm definitely going to be downloading that.
Or if you want to play it with me, it's a free fucking download. It's a demo. And I'm going to play it on PlayStation. So if anybody wants to play, and it's got crossplay out of the gate. So if either of you want to play that game with me, I'll be playing it on PlayStation. If anybody wants to check it out.
Yeah, I might be willing to give it a shot.
That's where I was going to download it as well.
Okay.
I don't think I'm as optimistic as you are about it, but I'm willing to give it a try, see what it's about.
The progression, they have said that the progression from the demo carries over only to so like if you play it on PlayStation, you would need to buy it on PlayStation to have your progression carry over. So
yeah, whatever platform.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Cool. Johnny, over to you, man.
We basically covered everything I had to talk about. I will say that as far as Valheim is concerned, I haven't played nearly as much of it as I have wanted to. But the fact that we have the server that has several people on it's pretty exciting to me. And I did check out that barracks that you found, and the game's cool. It's got a lot of cool things that's going on. But we don't need to talk about it anymore. Don't worry, Chase.
Yeah.
Which I guess
That
brings
brings
us
us to
to
the casual
the
report.
news. Yeah, casual report. That
We have a lot of news stories here.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we
the
do.
fucking
I think
world
Johnny
kind
even added some of them.
Johnny
I
did.
added the first news stories in this note. Thank you very much.
There's some of this that's like easy, like, hey, this is what's going on, move on. Like, there's some easy stuff here for sure.
Somebody also pasted in a story that I had already put in there. So thanks for trying to steal my thunder.
Which one?
We'll get to it.
No. No. Which one?
See where it says Johnny A, new PSVR. That was made yesterday as soon as that news dropped, and then today I noticed Sony finally announces next gen VR for PS5, but that story is already in the note. So
well, yours says new PSVR at the bottom by the Illinois congressman, where mine's at the top.
it was at the top, and then you inserted yourself in there.
Yes, because nobody can manipulate text.
Because I'll tell you also, it's a shame that we don't have a service that we keep our notes on that has a history button on it to let me see where that stuff goes in.
Anyway.
I did really appreciate how this first story came out today, and yet has jumped to the top of our news because it is the biggest news story.
I gotta take this one for a second. I just got.
Will you at least read the line I put in there?
Anthem is dead. Long live Anthem.
Thank you.
Look,
short-lived Anthem.
As the apologist on this show for a game for weeks after it came out, like they're gonna fix it. They're gonna do it. This game, like we have joked, we have celebrated, we have played more than we needed to. It's a fucking shame that they spent so much time treading water trying to make this work. And I should have known. I should have known that the pandemic would do it in. And I should have known that splitting that team up that was already fragmented away would have fucking
I don't think you can put this all on the pandemic.
No, I certainly can't. There's a lot of missteps here. But it's a fucking shame because that game had some strong things in it that were really fucking cool that were unfortunately just shit all over by everything else.
It had some interesting ideas it was unable to expand upon.
Bobby, did you believe that it was going to get fixed, that Anthem Next was going to actually come out until today when they announced it?
I mean,
did you know?
Did I know, or did I allow myself to believe it? Are two different things. And I think that I still till today, like I remember Jason Schreier, friend of the show, Jason Schreier, had said, like, hey, there's a report coming out. I got two of his books. I got two of his books up here. He's my friend, and
must mean, yep, that's what that means.
So I saw that report, like, hey, they're having a decision, and I knew at that point, I'm like, well, that's easy. It's a no. That's that because guess what they did? They brought out. They said, hey, we've got Mass Effect off. It's gonna be really good. Come check it out. And they do that, and guess what happens? They say, oh, Anthem's dead, but Mass Effect's coming out, and guess what? There's another Mass Effect game too. And you remember Dragon Age? We're gonna put them on that team.
Yeah. It really does make perfect sense from a business standpoint that Anthem was so derided that even if you brought it back, it would have extremely high expectations because those are the expectations that you had at the beginning. So if you say you're going to fix it, and especially if you spent all this time saying that you're going to fix it, you actually have to come and fix it. And if they didn't hit it again, that'd be extremely disappointing when they're also trying to save face and reputation by putting out this Mass Effect stuff, by continuing to develop Dragon Age, by trying to plug up the dam as Casey Hudson leaves and lots of other people are continuing to leave BioWare and they've had to shift different people in different places. And the pandemic on top of that. It makes sense that Anthem was just Anthem needed to go. It just needed. We need to cut this off. We need to cut our losses.
But there's
it's
still
not going to get us back.
Sliver of hope. You know, Bobby, you were like Bart when it was apparent that Krusty the Clown would not be coming to Camp Krusty, and he kept believing that Krusty was going to come until eventually his spirit was broken, and
yeah, man,
that's where we are now.
I really liked the way that game looked. I really liked the way that game
It
sounded.
looked great.
Honestly,
flying was fun
I like
until
how
you
it
had
played.
to go under a waterfall, to cool off because they can't make jet propulsion technology that doesn't require you to fly under waterfalls.
Shooting always felt like shit.
Shooting wasn't great.
Shooting wasn't good.
Walking around that fort area
the combos were really good though. The combos were awesome.
Yeah, when they worked, the combos were really good. I like using abilities way more than I like using guns. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I played Anthem not more than a month ago, and that storm power calling down the fire and the ice.
Yeah.
And
why
shit,
did you do that?
still look cool.
Yeah, I mean, so they are going to apparently keep the servers on for anybody who's still there, and I mean, they're getting nothing else. I actually still think, I'm not mistaken, Johnny, was the holiday decor still up when you played it? Because I don't think they've gone in to take that down.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's going to be forever. It's forever going to be Christmas in that game now.
That whatever server I was playing on, the instance of that world was populated with.
Oh, there's
the max.
There's people who like to be punished out there. So yeah, Anthem is dead. Put it to rest. What I'll say is I hope that the people who worked on that game are able to find other things to do that are fulfilling to them.
They're working on Dragon Age.
There's plenty of stuff for them to do. Yeah. Dragon Age, new Mass Effect, Mass Effect Legendary Collection, Star Wars: The Old Republic, whatever else the fuck they've got going on.
Just to clarify, what I read is that team is being pulled to work on Dragon Age 4.
Yeah,
so
that's what I heard too.
It sounds like they'll all be working on the same project now. And it was kind of a like skunk work, like 30 people, which is not nearly enough for a game with as big of a scope as Anthem had. So
I'm sure in years to come we'll hear more and more about the nastiness of what that game's development cycle was. But speaking of really good leadership here, Johnny, what do you got for us?
Speaking of things that are dead.
Yeah. Stadia leadership praised development studios for great progress, quote unquote, just 1 week before laying them all off.
I believe that. Like that sounds like it's coming from somebody who
corporate America, baby.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure they were doing a great job, and it's not their fault. Like, I don't think it's the developers' fault that Stadia
not at all.
cut its. That Google cut Stadia developers.
And,
it's that Google is like, this just doesn't financially make sense anymore.
Yeah,
regardless of the quality of what these people were doing.
Who knows if the decision had been made even a week out? That they were officially going to close all these internal studios down. Shit happens really quickly. With as big as Google is, like the people pulling all those strings, making those final decisions, the ones saying, "Hey, great job, guys," may not have known, or maybe they did. And
it turns out that making video games is a tough thing to do.
Yeah. Speaking of making video games being tough, let's hope that Blizzard does a better job with this Diablo 2 remake that was announced than they did with Warcraft 3 Reforged last year. You guys, so I know none of us here really played or cared about Warcraft, but that sucked, especially the way they handled how the old Warcraft servers
got a hell of a
shut
team
down,
making this one though, man.
Yeah, Vicarious Visions, makers of most recently Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, are the ones that are putting the work in on this. This is coming out this year.
Coming to a Switch near you.
Yep, coming on Switch, PC.
Tony Hawk, I mean, not.
Yeah.
I don't mean Diablo. I mean
right.
Tony.
But Diablo is also coming out on basically everything.
I can say playing Diablo 3 with you on the Switch has been really cool. Like, it plays really well on there.
Yeah, I will probably pick this up on the Switch as well.
And Diablo 2 did come out for the PS2. So they have a legacy of controller versions of Diablo 2 already. I don't know how much they're going to use those
Chase,
for
the
remake.
Torchlight that you like so much? Is that the game that you like?
I used to like so much. Yeah, I love Torchlight 1, which was a group of Blizzard developers who broke off and made their own one of those. And then I found 2 disappointing, and then I didn't even play 3. So it's hard for me to say I'm a Torchlight fan, but I did very much enjoy that first game.
I've heard from a lot of people, and I have not played Diablo 2, but apparently that is the game when it comes to those types of things. Like that's kind of the Rosetta Stone, so to speak.
Remember this game being everywhere.
Yeah.
It's definitely the most fondly remembered. I think at this point they've done enough work to Diablo 3, and it's been so prevalent that people really enjoy Diablo 3 as well. But 2 was a revolution when it came out.
But knowing that it's going to be on all these things with cross save and cross progression, like that, this could be a fun thing to play this year.
Yeah, for sure. I will definitely be checking this out. I enjoyed my time with Diablo 3 quite a bit. Hey guys, you remember Sweet Tooth?
Mm-hmm.
From
I've heard of him.
Metal?
I've heard of him.
Have you ever wanted to see Sweet Tooth in a movie?
No.
Who would voice Sweet Tooth?
Jack Black.
Who's the guy who does the Saw man?
Nick Cage. Nick Cage is going to voice Sweet Tooth.
Yeah. Okay.
I would
sure.
love
Yeah.
That.
Oh, yeah. I'd love. Please. Yeah, that'd be good. Let's do that.
Who? Oh man, I'm trying to think of the names of some of the other characters in that
Axel.
series. There's
Johnny. Just let's go. Let's move through this.
No, Chase.
We don't have time for this boring garbage.
It's going to be a TV show, Chase.
Okay.
Twisted Metal.
Is Jaffe actually working on it?
I don't know.
This has Will Arnett, Deadpool writers Rhett Reese and Paul Warnick, and Cobra Kai writer Michael Jonathan Smith. It will star Will Arnett. So
he's Sweet Tooth.
It's gonna be great.
Will Arnett is Sweet Tooth.
Okay. Look, he will be funny in anything, and I assume that humor is a big part of those games. So I assume this will have some comedic elements.
Attempts at humor was a big part of those games.
Okay. All right. With that asterisk on the end of that. So were you guys looking forward to Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2?
I never played the other one. I know that
they're the first one was really beloved. I know that. But I don't know. I have never dealt with this series.
Well, you can continue looking forward to it as it has been pushed back to next year.
No, not even next year. It's indefinite.
Not only that.
Oh. My mistake. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
they fucking pulled the developers off the project.
Hardsuit Labs have been removed from their project. Let's see. So here's a statement from Paradox. We have now chosen to postpone the release further, and we will not be launching the game in 2021. We also have decided that Hardsuit Labs will no longer be leading the development of Bloodlines 2, and we have started a collaboration with a new studio partner to finish work on the game. This has been a difficult decision, but we are convinced that it is the right way forward to do the game.
This game was supposed to come out in 2020.
Yeah. I mean,
and you can look at pandemic stuff about delays in that sense. What I think is pretty nuts, though, is this game, if it was supposed to come out in 2020, probably is supposed to come out around nowish, or maybe even in a couple months. To remove the developers at this late of a stage and give it to somebody else
does not speak well of the status of that.
Yeah, something has to be going real wrong, whether it's with the game or whether it's with the relationship with the studio. That's weird. I was seeing they had pre-order bonuses and shit out there for this game. It is late in its development.
Yeah, it's pretty wild that this happened. Is this the next Duke Nukem Forever? We'll have to wait and find out. Let's see. So, Sony guys, you've heard of them?
Yep.
Familiar.
They announced a next-gen VR for the PS5.
Yeah, I know. I put that in there.
Put out. Yeah, no, I did. I put their blog post in there. So they made a blog post saying that they're going to be making a VR for the PS5. They did. It's about all they said. It'll take advantage of
What
the DualSense
earth-shattering
tech.
news that is.
Yep. There'll be new VR controllers, which is good because those Move controllers have always been bad.
But they did say about those controllers that they would have the DualSense technology, which is cool.
I literally just said that 10 seconds ago. So
did you though? Because I'm reading my story here.
So combative.
Oh, okay.
Here's the real question: is there going to be a new Astro game when this thing comes out?
I certainly hope so. That would be
or just make
a
Astro
fantastic use.
that's out VR supported. Like just keep that game but make it VR.
Look,
that's not good enough for me. I need a whole new Astro.
I think that this is great news for VR in general because the PSVR was the most accessible one on the market, and there were some really neat games that came out on it. It'll be cool to see it using tech that is all new and not controllers that were from the generation prior, and all the advancements that Quest and Rift have made, seeing how they take advantage of where VR is now.
Man, all I hope that they can do is copy the fucking formula for Quest, and even like go back to like the Vita a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like make this thing standalone. Use your system. Get people on that VR train.
I don't think that'll happen, but you can wish in one hand.
No, I'm telling you, man. Like, why wouldn't it? Why couldn't they make this thing not be tethered
to
your PlayStation 5?
Because they want people to buy the other box as well.
It'll be too expensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, the Quest is $300 by standalone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fine, but there's no way in hell Sony puts out a standalone VR product. It will work in conjunction with the PS5.
Yeah, man.
I would bet money on
it's unlike Sony to put out things that weren't directly connected to their boxes. They've never done that before.
The news story says Sony finally announces next gen VR for PS5. What are we questioning here?
Yeah,
I think that it can be the same thing. You can plug a Quest into your PC.
They're not doing that, man.
I'm telling you,
they're not. They're just not.
It would be.
You can say it's a good idea, and I'm not going to disagree with you, but that doesn't make it. Make it so.
Okay.
Giving me $1 million is a good idea. Nobody's going to do it.
No, yeah. Chase. Nobody needs that many Gundams in their house.
I tell you what, if this is a thing that you can buy and you don't need a PS5 to play it, I will give you $10.
I'm not going to give you $10 if I'm right.
Huh?
I'm not going to pay you if you're right though.
Fine. That's how convinced I am that you were incorrect in this situation.
All right. Move on.
Okay. Hey, speaking of Sony and exclusives and things that we never thought would happen, but they did. Days Gone, the PS4 exclusive, is making its way to PC this spring, and the quote here from Jim Ryan, he did an interview with GQ and a whole bunch of other outlets. He says, "What about PlayStation games on PC? A whole slate of them is on the way, starting with Days Gone this spring." So we know we're getting Days Gone. My heart of hearts says they probably won't bring Bloodborne over because that would require work from FromSoft, and they're busy working on other things. They could let another studio handle it.
I think God of War makes sense here, man.
Does it?
That's the obvious one.
Mm-hmm.
I think so, but also I think if you were going to do that, you should have led with that one.
Yeah.
Like, don't lead with the worst exclusive you've made in a long time.
I just wonder if
there are people that really like this game. It's from what I've heard.
Name one.
Friend of the show, Jason Jones, big fan.
I think that
he's always had a shady history.
I wonder if. I mean, look, like Crystal Ball. I think we all agree that the next God of War is not coming out this year, so maybe they don't want to pull the Skyward Sword thing quite yet, where it's like, hey, you're not getting Breath of the Wild 2, but here's Skyward Sword. Like,
here's God of War.
And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing to get, but in Horizon, even though it had a troublesome startup, it's great now. But the Sony fans were not thrilled that this was coming to PC.
So, okay, funny you mentioned that because Jim Ryan said the backlash from fans wasn't as terrible as they thought it would be. So maybe we were just viewing things in a very
What a weird quote.
window.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a legitimate concern, I guess. Like, that's your brand, and you're taking things that Sony fanboys have prided as like, oh, Sony has the best exclusives, and now suddenly there are other places to play these games.
I think the Spider-Man remaster, not Miles Morales, because I think that's still pretty tight, but I think Spider-Man remastered makes a lot of sense on PC too.
The Uncharted games would be great on PC because those games already look fantastic.
That'd be a good point.
Last of Us makes sense too. Last of Us making its way on there. Like really,
both of them or just the second one?
I'd say the first one to start. I think that is it called Last of Us Remastered? Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
I think that they would do that.
I don't know. But last part 2 looks incredible on the PS4.
I think if you're gonna do this, I think you do the newest shit. You do the newest shit you can.
Yeah.
I don't see why they would go back to really old shit at that point. Like
the Final Fantasy
that makes no sense.
Remaster or remake. I'm sorry.
That was already gonna come out on PC this year anyway. Like that was a timed exclusive, like 1 year. So that was a known quantity. This is exciting. I think it's never bad when more people can play these great games. So
and also Days Gone.
Yeah.
So they can play the great games, or they could also play Days Gone, whichever you want.
Ooh, I got one.
Yeah, yep.
Sorry, last minute. Ghost.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, because that game looks fucking incredible on the PS5 with the update they did to it. I can only imagine how great it would look running on my hardware here. I know, Bobby, you weren't the biggest fan of that game.
I like the way it looks.
I like it a lot. Yeah,
I like the way it looks.
It's real pretty. All right, keep the Sony news rolling here.
Let's
tomorrow,
do it, man.
Tomorrow, I almost did the thing that we used to be able to do, where I say, "Hey, let's push the recording back a day so we can talk about this thing that's happening." And the thing that is happening tomorrow is a state of play, which it's about 30 minutes long. They say it'll serve up new updates and deep dives for 10 games coming to PS4 and PS5, including new announcements and updates on some of the third-party and indie titles we saw in last June's PS5 showcase. So I am under the assumption. So here's me looking into my looking glass here. I think that we will get God of War Ragnarok gameplay with the announcement that is being pushed back to next year.
No way. No gameplay. No way.
Oh, they got to give us something. We get a trailer at least.
No way.
We get a trailer.
No way. That shit is not done. You would be pulling those fucking cookies out of the oven way too soon if you show that game. I think you get Horizon.
They can show a trailer.
What's that gonna do in 2021?
You guys are thinking too small.
Uh-oh. Well, we got Chase.
All right. Okay, Chase, please.
Well, I mean, they're gonna tease the next Final Fantasy VII episode, right?
Give it to me.
Is it just a title card?
2020's Game of the Year, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I think.
I bet we get a trailer. I bet we get a trailer, and they'll say 2022.
Less than a year after the first game came out.
Yeah, we'll get a trailer, and they'll say 2022. Like the assets, a lot of the assets are already done. You don't need to make character models and shit like that.
But still, there's whole new regions they have to make, and
yeah, but like the systems are there. Like it's you have a lot of it built. I think you can put out the rest of that game sooner than.
I'm not letting myself feel that way because I'm too excited for what's to come from that.
I just don't know how you don't feel that way about God of War, but feel that way about Final Fantasy.
Well, because God of War's been in
equal
development.
shots.
I don't know, man. I think
Ragnarok has been in development for the last 3 years, so they have to have a decent chunk of that game.
I think we're going to see a deeper look at Horizon Forbidden West for sure. I think we're going to get a holiday launch title for that. I think you're going to see more Ratchet and Clank for sure.
Yeah, the game looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What else did we see in last June's PS5 showcase? Like, what are the things they could be talking about there? Was the Final Fantasy, the new Final Fantasy, what they showed there?
They did show that Final Fantasy 16,
really quick
16?
trailer.
Oh, that game looks dope.
Yep. Nothing with Elden Ring, right?
No, that was too much. That if we get anything for that, that will come at Microsoft's thing.
Here, Johnny,
Press
I'll
it.
pull up.
And we're also not hearing anything about that.
I've got a showcase recap from last year. So they showed off Miles. They showed off Forbidden West. We saw Bug Snacks for the first time. That new Oddworld game.
What about Bug Snacks 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Yes.
It's too early for that, but that'd be cool. Maybe a Bug Snacks DLC.
Remember when they led with GTA 5 on that last year?
Fuck, that is supposed to be out.
Let's see.
Yeah, we should have another GTA 5 trailer. That'd be great.
I bet. Okay, I bet we get some more Ghostwire Tokyo. I bet we get some Deathloop.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Maybe
They're
some
definitely gonna show Ratchet.
RE8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, some tall lady. Yeah, I need to get her in there.
Yeah.
Who? The tall lady?
Yeah.
Lady Demetricus.
So yeah, the other indies they announced.
She'll be the host.
Goodbye Volcano High. Jet the Far Shore, Kena, Bridge of Spirits, Little Devil Inside.
What was the that one? That game looks fucking awesome. That's the one that's like out in the woods. It's got a really cool looking style to it. The Devil Inside.
Yeah. Oh man, that game looks so cool. Okay.
I know. I really hope that comes out.
I'm excited. New video game stuff. What's not to be excited about? Obviously, the things I'm most excited for probably won't be coming out this year. But nevertheless.
Wait, is it called The Devil Inside? Because I'm seeing
The Devil Inside. Little Devil Inside.
Oh. Just search The Devil Inside game because that's a very different looking video game than what I'm...
Pass. Hard pass.
Oh. I don't want to be a part of this.
Look it up.
Fine.
No, thank you.
No, The Devil Inside. The Devil Inside game.
All right. Well, you do that. I'm going to take on this next news story here.
No.
But yeah, I'm excited about the PlayStation thing. Although we're going to be, you might be like the show still goes out. The recording goes out Friday, right? I mean, I know we're streaming live now, but so by the time you're listening to this, it may have already been over. So you can see how wrong we were.
Yes.
Fair.
Okay, that wraps up the Sony news for the week. Okay.
Yep.
I saw the story yesterday and I almost pasted it, but then
it's dumb. We don't have to give it much airtime.
I get too worked up whenever shit like this comes to light, but I will keep myself composed and calm.
I think there's a little twist on this one that bugs me, but yeah. Continue.
So Illinois congressman attempts to ban the sale of all violent video games. So Representative Marcus C. Evans Jr. This is in response to, and I would love to hear him explain the logic of this, increased carjackings and violent crime in Chicago. Somehow the fault of violent video. I forget that we're the only country that has violent video games.
Definitely. I think one of the other interesting things on here is that they're also trying to adjust the language of the law that talks about violent video games or violence, and it tries to incorporate more into that definition that would include carjacking and some other things as well. So his point is, these damn kids are playing Grand Theft Auto and they're deciding they could steal anybody's car, which is ridiculous on the face of it. But it's very weird.
It's
weird.
It's weird.
Noted here. I don't know if Chase added this himself or if this is from the article.
I did.
But it said Bobby is from Illinois. I'm from Illinois too. So this is probably his fault.
You're in cahoots.
Yeah.
You're hardly from you're from an armpit between Missouri and Illinois. I would not.
No, you're thinking of Granite City. I'm from Alton.
Well, good thing I'm from Missouri.
You're
none of my elected officials have ever done anything wrong.
Yeah. You're basically saying like, oh, you're probably thinking about Granite City, which is Pawnee. I'm from Eagleton, which is Alton City.
No, Alton is on the same level as Pawnee.
Yeah, no, I'm aware.
Most haunted town in America. Most haunted town in America.
Yep.
Yeah, just
Makes
that's
sense.
you going outside
World's
to get the
tallest
paper.
man was born there. Robert Wadlow.
I think what's interesting about this one is that it is coming from a Democrat, which is not something I expected. I guess, yeah, but like it's not what you expect. It's not necessarily what you expect. You expect that to be like talking points
fucking
on the right.
1992. It's
Yeah,
2021. This conversation
it
is
is.
over. Why don't you actually help the people you were elected to represent, you fucking idiot? Like,
it seems like a lot of these things are always just to score a couple of cheap political points of, hey, I'm doing something
it's
against the
gross.
crime without actually doing anything.
I hope
and
he
yeah,
gets
it sucks.
primaried. I hope he loses that primary. I hope he never serves in public office again for being so fucking stupid. Quit wasting our time with this bullshit. Do some actual good work for the people who will put you in office, you fucking moron.
Remember when Johnny said he wasn't going to get heated?
I'm sorry. He must have been
it
heated.
fries my bacon. There's so much other worthwhile stuff that you could be doing than writing this bullshit bill. Like, I realize it's Illinois and all the politicians are fucking corrupt and just and in general politicians suck ass. But this stuff like this just really irritates me. I don't know if that comes across.
Let's move into some nicer news.
Star Wars Republic Commando is coming to the Switch, PS4, and 5, April 6th. How about that? I don't know if I ever played this game, guys. Did you?
I did.
I played a little bit of it.
I really liked it on the Xbox. I know the controls are bad on this, but they say that they're updating that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that looks like. I mean, if they can make it feel all right there, look, I really liked it. It was a cool ass concept at the time. Like a first person shooter.
So they're porting the PC version, so it will have higher res textures. It'll look a little better, especially look better than what I remember playing like on the Xbox. I still feel like this is going to feel real outdated in terms of just how it plays.
Yeah. I mean, it's still cool.
Not, I mean, it's no the devil
on
super cool
game.
Yeah.
I think I own this game on Steam. Hang on a second.
It was like $2, man. Like when they had a bunch of shit on sale for Star Wars shortly after I built.
I do own this game.
Yeah.
There was a Star Wars Humble Bundle or something that I got several years ago that has lots of games that I haven't played in it. Yeah, that's cool.
What I thought was interesting of the news story, and this news story was from StarWars.com, so it's true. But they were talking about how the Star Wars, like they've remade Lucasfilm games or LucasArts. Jesus, they've brought back the LucasArts title, and there was talk about we're bringing this title back because we want to refocus on Star Wars games and bring back that confidence, and this name has been synonymous with Star Wars games, so that's something that we're doing, and it seems like one of those kind of commitments is coming out of this, of Republic Commando coming back, which is cool. And this article that I linked in here is an interview with one of the developers who worked on the game and is also working on this port to Switch and PS4, which will be playable on PS5. It's not a PS5 version specifically.
Sure.
But it seems like cool. We're recommitted to putting out those fan favorite Star Wars games, and I go, okay, when is Knights of the Republic 1 and 2 coming to Switch then?
No,
and I know that's a thornier issue. There are other developers involved there, but Jesus, man, you need to bring out KOTOR 1 and 2.
Give us KOTOR
to Switch now, please.
Yeah. And okay, lastly, Bobby, I know you put this in here as a joke, but when I read,
I put it in here, and it's 100% serious.
There is a Frasier revival happening. I realize this isn't directly related to video games or related.
How is it not related to video games?
Exactly. I mean,
Frasier Crane, Kelsey Grammer played Beast in X-Men. X-Men has had video games, therefore this is a video game story. I don't see what the problem is.
I have no problem covering this, Chase. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. So it's going to star Kelsey Grammer.
It's going to star Country Grammar, the breakout first album by Nelly.
Look, I watched the show as a
child.
Frasier's
going down, down, baby.
Yeah, and I rewatched it as an adult, and it's so good. It's such a great show. I'm looking forward to this.
Kelsey Grammer's got his problems these days. I'm not necessarily on. I'm not necessarily on the Kelsey Grammer bandwagon. There's lots of problems.
He has some substance abuse problems.
Oh, for real?
And some anger issues and some he's been kind of a shitty person. But
seems like a good time to bring him back onto television.
Yeah.
Well, he never left. He's been on plenty of shows.
He had a really fucked up life, and I think that has led to some residual things that followed him into adulthood. But hey, who doesn't have
he's got kind of he's got kind of an Alec Baldwin thing going on. Where like he skirts that line between people like him and he's also kind of a shitbag sometimes.
Yeah. So
and doggone it, people like me.
But I love Frasier. I do love myself some Frasier. I did not like Cheers especially that much, but I'm big Frasier fan over
here. Right on. Well, let me
take us home, Miley.
Yeah, let's see if
also you guys should just Google search this in your own time, but you should look for somebody made some web comics that was like a very Johnny. You'll appreciate this for sure.
I guess
it was.
Thanks.
Oh no, you won't, and you'll hear why. It was a mashup of Frasier and Bloodborne, and it had some very specific humor.
All right.
In it that I did not understand because I did not play Bloodborne, but I still enjoyed the Frasier aspects of it. It's just like what if Frasier and Niles were in Bloodborne?
It's called Crane.
And I think, I think you would very much enjoy that whole series that was done.
This is fantastic. Thank you for bringing.
There's lots of good stuff there. Yeah. See, Bobby, it's a Dark Souls thing. You wouldn't like it.
I am a Dark Soul. Johnny, thanks for that casual report this week. I know it was a bigger one. A lot of fun stuff. Tomorrow should be an interesting day. We'll throw up maybe some of our thoughts there on Twitter as we're hearing more from Sony. This episode will be posting live on Friday across all major podcasting platforms. So to Chase's point earlier, let us know how wrong we were. And you can do so by hitting us up at The Casual Hour across all social networking. You can also email us if you'd like to, thecasualhour@gmail.com. Or if you want to be super fancy, you can head over to Anchor, where this podcast lives, and you can leave us a voice message, and we'll include it on our show. Below all of our photos here, if you're watching this, you can see where to find all of us on social networking if you want to hang out with us more directly. But the one thing I don't have listed on here is our YouTube channel, and you should head over to our YouTube page and check out what we're up to with some quick looks. We've got some really cool video on demand stuff there. Give us a like and subscribe on that page if you can. But Chase, I did know that you were going to... I apologies, I have not been on social today. I been really busy with some stuff at work. But did you ever get that episode out for Gamers on the Go?
I did. It came out today, in fact. This was the big news. You took off one day from social media and you missed everything. There is a brand new episode of Gamers on the Go out with me and actual friend of the show, Matt Jaguar, and we talked about the top 25 Nintendo DS games ever made. And also just kind of a retrospective of the console itself, similar to what we did with the 3DS. We had a lot of fun doing it. It's 3 hours long. I understand that people don't necessarily want to listen to a 3-hour podcast. They don't even want to listen to an hour and a half podcast. But if you're listening to this, you already have. Too bad.
Too bad, suckers.
But it was a good time. If you really don't want to listen to two guys meander around for 3 hours, I have also put up the list of our top 25. You can find that at gamersonthego.com. And then my personal top 25 list will be coming out this Friday, and Matt's will be coming out, relatively soon. He's got to finish it first. But that was a lot of fun. I was very surprised at the number one that we came out to. I love that game.
What was it?
I'm still surprised it took the top. Fuck you, Bobby. Listen to the show. Listen to the show, or go to the website. Give me some Google Analytics, please. For the love of God. You want me to just give away the content that I spent 3 hours of blood, sweat, and tears to get to?
Got it. Okay.
God.
My mistake.
The audacity.
So Johnny,
we use GarageBand, not Audacity, but the audacity of it.
Can I ask you what game you've been playing, or do I have to go find that answer?
Each week you ask this question. Each week the answer is the same thing.
It's not. Guess what? This is a sting. You've been got, motherfucker. You have Discord open, and I know what Jude's playing. It's not Minecraft. It's fucking Roblox. Quit trying to make him sound like a better gamer than he is. He's a trash gamer, and you are a trash enabler. He's playing Roblox.
You almost called me trash father, and then you thought about it for a second.
I did think about it. I did think about it long and hard. And I know. You've been hiding it, and it's not the same thing.
I saw you swallow those words.
I swallowed them
and then
deep.
Quickly think of something else you could say that would be less offensive.
God.
Is it though?
No. Look, man, I don't play Roblox with the kid. He plays it with his little friends. That's the only time he really plays it. But obviously, together we've been playing Minecraft and some Among Us. He just got Misty ordered him these little Chinese Legos that are the Among Us characters, and it came with little like tools and stuff that are in the game. He's pretty pumped about that.
I just wish you loved your country more.
Maybe the problem is I love my country too much, and I expect too much from it. And even though I keep being let down by my country, and this is not a political podcast, so we don't have to get into it. But all
I hear is that one country wants to ban all violent video games, and another country wants to make video game, action figures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pick which country you like.
One of them seems a little sus.
Outside of that, as you know, I enjoy writing. I have taken that back up again. I have a writing group that I formed with a couple of other friends. That's been a really great outlet for me right now. So
hey, no, I don't think anybody wants to hear about your erotic fan fiction.
No, I mean that's on my blog, so you can find that pretty easily.
Nobody wants to hear about how how Rex seduces to save his race. You wrote some real headcanon for that, haven't you?
Let me tell you, the genophage does not exist in my fanfic.
God. I know who I'm romancing.
Yeah. Also, today was my last day at my current job, and I start a new job on Monday. I'm really excited about that.
Very cool.
Hopefully you won't be as loud there.
Yeah, well.
Hopefully your new job won't ask you to write news stories for the podcast.
Hey,
because we know that ain't happening.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
the jam. All right. Well, hey, we're gonna be back this Friday, as we talked about earlier, with some Outriders on the stream. That'll be 10:30 p.m.
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow as well. I think I might have a little midday snack, as they say, which I'll definitely have one of those. But I might play some video games too.
Nope, don't. I don't like the implications of that.
With 2 C's at the end of it.
It's a thick snack.
We need to end the show.
It's a lumberjack snack. I think
lumberjack snack is my cooking channel on YouTube. You can find it there. I make gourmet Lunchables.
Oh no!
But I'll be back tomorrow and then Monday with more Valheim and snacks for you. I am also not 9 feet tall, but people seem to like me as well as the lady from Resident Evil.
No, I don't. It's very upsetting when you send me that GIF.
It's a good GIF.
Next week, March preview. We get to talk about games that are coming out in March.
Nice.
That'll be fun.
All right.
A game or two that are coming out in March.
It'll be official, finally. We can talk about these games. All right, y'all. Hey, thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun. Tune in. Let us know what you need. We'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.